JBH Boutique Care offers you a unique exclusive membership in our nationwide concierge medical services network. Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Judine Bontemps-Hill. I'm double board certified in family and obesity medicine. We pair exclusive personalized care with accessibility and convenience. A better way for you to receive immediate quality medical care. Whether at our main Orlando, Florida office, traveling across the U.S. or visiting the States, we bring you the best medical care without waiting for an appointment. Become a member today by calling 407-234-5282 or visit us online at jdhmeg1.com. JBH Boutique Care is proud to sponsor Sounds of the Diaspora, music and conversations with artists, and host Dion Parson every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on Source TV Radio Network, WTSN, Washington, D.C.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Sounds of the Diaspora. I'm Dion Parson, and it gives me great pleasure tonight to welcome to our show a beautiful, amazing, wonderful, talented pianist. She's an educator, arranger, composer, and someone that I recently got a chance to play with a couple of times in New York City by surprise, unexpectedly. Please welcome Miss Yayoi Ikawa to the show.
Hello, Dion. Hi,
Hello.
everybody.
How are you?
I am fine. So glad to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes. I'm glad that you can join us. I know it's kind of short notice, but thank you for fitting it into your schedule.
Of course. Yeah, it's all happens all of a sudden. Yeah.
All of a sudden, yes.
Yes.
It was so great playing with you. Some beautiful, unexpected performances in the last couple of weeks in New York. So that was beautiful. Really nice.
I was so excited to have opportunity to play in your band in a concert. Yeah, it was a great band. I was studying, as you see. I checked out all the music and I was like, oh my God, what a beautiful music. What a great ensemble. Just all the elements, and I was just so happy. I enjoyed every single moment.
Well, thank you. Well, you brought you to the table, so it was really nice, and everybody enjoyed. All the band members had a good time. They was like, "Hey, man, she's good. Keep her."
That's good. So, I'm happy to hear.
I thanked Carlton for the recommendation. In his absence, you held down the fort really well.
As he always does. Yeah. It's all coming from community, and he's my big brother.
Yeah. Well, he spoke highly of you, and I said, hey, you recommend her. I'm gonna go with your recommendation. So it all worked out, and here we are today.
Yeah. That was only like 2 weeks ago.
Maybe? 2 weeks ago, yeah. Time flies when you're having fun.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
So Yayoi, so you've been in New York for a while, and you're making a name. Well, you're on the scene. You've made a name for yourself, but you're making your rounds with some other folks performing. The jazz scene is kind of like that. But before we talk about the things that you're doing now, let's go back a little bit because you gave me a little bit more insight before we start the show. Let's go back a little bit to. So before you came to New York,
right?
So you're from Tokyo, Japan, right?
To be exact, it's south of Tokyo. It's called Chiba. It's where the Narita Airport is.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so it's close enough to Tokyo. It's like New Jersey compared to New York.
Nice.
Yeah.
But you grew up playing classical music.
When I was little, I have two sisters, and our grandfather was a music teacher.
Oh, okay.
Before World War II, so it goes way back.
Okay.
So he went to World War II, and after that, to support his family, he became accountant.
Okay.
So, but he always loved classical music. He had a beautiful Yamaha C7. So I think by his request, we all played piano.
Okay.
I started when I was 3. So I don't really remember how I started. So yeah, I was always around piano. But as I grew up, as I grew up, like I had another interest, and like always had back of my head that I want to start music again. But I had quitted piano lessons by the age of 11, maybe, like around middle school. I stopped going to practice
Okay.
the piano. Yeah, and it was not until 18 years when I left home to go to college. I didn't major music, but I had made up my mind that I'm gonna start music again as a hobby.
Okay.
So yeah, and I didn't have teacher. So
Oh,
I did myself. I tried to study by myself. Yeah.
wow, interesting. So you just kind of just made a decision based on the information you had from before, but you went to school to study something different and then decided to pursue piano as a profession. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. They had I went to liberal arts college and I majored economics, but it's liberal arts, so like I studied little bits of everything.
Right.
International relationship. I always wanted to do something international,
Okay.
and I joined the jazz band, after school jazz band. Nobody's music major, but we just got together and like we practiced the big band charts like Duke Ellington, Count Basie. So that was Buddy Rich, like lots of like West Coast American jazz. Yeah, so that was my introduction to playing real jazz with my peers, without teachers really. We had band teacher, but we didn't have each instrument
Right.
teacher. So I learned from drama actually.
Okay.
My first teacher was drama, and that's why I studied drum rudimental book. That was my first textbook. Um, and I applied that to chords and scales, and I was reading rudimental book all the way.
Okay.
Yeah, so to this day, people say that like you play really percussion like piano,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
I was
you
like,
do.
yeah, maybe that makes sense because like I studied drum book
Yeah.
before the piano book.
The rhythm,
Yeah.
you could definitely hear it and you understand the rhythm. It's prominent in your playing. It's beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, all to my background and ancestors and all that. It's in me that I'm grateful.
Great, great. So
Yeah.
let me ask you this. This was all happening in Japan, right?
Mhm.
All of this was going on in Japan. And then when you finished school in Japan, you stayed there for a while and then you decided to move to New York, right?
Actually, not.
No?
I had my college big band. Um, we won the student competition.
Hmm.
Not the first prize. I think it was third prize. But we got the opportunity to tour in U.S., Hawaii, and Los Angeles,
Hmm.
and we recorded at Capitol Studio, Capitol
Yeah.
Records.
In-
It was yeah, it was a big day for us.
mhm.
So after that, all the band member, all the college band member went back to Japan. I flew to New York by myself, thinking that this is my graduation gift to myself, that I'm gonna stay in New York and I'm gonna see what jazz is about.
Mhm.
And I was fearless that time. I didn't really know the standard at all. I can play blues, but not sure if I could stay in one key.
Right.
uh, but I had no fear, so I went to jam session every single night, and I had a good ear. That was a gift given.
Mhm.
So I could pick up what people were playing
Mhm.
mostly if it's not giant step.
Right.
um, Yeah, so like I jammed. I jammed until people say, "Okay, that's enough. You can come down, come." So like yeah, I was out there playing, and finally like students from new school invited me to junior math class. It's a blues class at new school. So
Mhm.
I was like so excited, and I started coming to new school, and people start noticing that you're not student. Why are you here?
Right.
um, and then I had the opportunity to like audition on that spot. I didn't
Hmm.
plan to audition for school, but like after sitting in a couple of time at school, they invited me to like, why don't you audition?
Right.
So that's how I started. And after 1 month, I went back to Japan as planned, and I had to tell my parents that I think I'm gonna move to New York.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a big move.
Yeah, that was a big move. But
Mhm.
yeah, I didn't know too much about jazz. I mean, like other than playing in jazz big band in Japan, that was
Mhm.
great. But I had my mentor that time was Kei Akagi.
Mhm.
He is a pianist who played with Miles Davis.
Mhm.
Great pianist, and he's now professor at UC Irvine in California.
Mhm.
But anyway, so I consulted him, and I told him that I rather want to be a beginner in New York than beginner in Tokyo.
Right.
And I think that was a good move.
That was a very good move. Yeah.
Yeah, because New York is a city that, like really unique city that on the same stage, it could happen that totally beginner um, player and world class musician
Can come
happen
together.
to happen to play
Yeah.
yeah like yeah, on jam session, it can happen. Yeah, so that for that I'm really grateful for how my path started.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
It,
I was go ahead.
no, I'm just saying the opportunities at that point were endless, and you took advantage of them, which is great. It's kudos to you for thinking like that versus going back
Yeah,
and trying to fix. Some people say, "Well, let me go back and practice and get it together, and then come to New York."
right.
Versus, "Let me go
Yeah,
fire. I'm gonna just jump in the fire and just swim, figure it out."
yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's what my mentor told me, that like, why don't you have safety net, like if you can be professional in Japan, like then come to New York, and then you can come back to Japan if that's what I want.
Mm,
And I somehow knew that I would live in United States for a long time,
mm,
probably because if I can mention that I didn't know about jazz at all. But when I was 15, I was exchange student, nothing to do with music. But
mhm.
my host family in Portland, Oregon, um, was um, a, a, the father was jazz drummer,
Mm.
and my host brother also played Latin percussion. So
Okay.
we listened to jazz a lot, and that was the first time I listened to jazz in my life when I
Mm,
was 15. So yeah, so somehow in the back, like like I know it was a bold move to move to New York, but somehow that experience as a 15 years old, that I didn't speak English at all. I didn't know anything about jazz, but I had so much fun just jamming with the people I love.
right.
Yeah, so that experience encouraged me that, like even though I don't know enough about jazz, even though I don't speak perfect English that time, I will have good time.
You were having fun, which is one of the key things because whatever you do, you have to have fun at it,
That's
or
true.
else
That's
you
true. That's
you have
true.
to have the element of you work hard to, but you got to make it fun too. So all of those things came together for you being influenced at 15 and having that in the back of your mind. That's so it seems like it was evident for you to just do what you're doing.
Yeah. Yeah, it felt natural to me, yeah, to come to New York. I didn't expect that I would live here for this long time, But
Mhm.
yeah, this is where I built my career, and I have so much musical family here. So it feels very natural that this is my home. New York is my home.
Yeah, and you're still having fun.
Yeah, it's just like, yeah, because like I want people to have fun, right? I want to, we all different. Like I may not be the best of best, but like I wanna shift energy in listeners' life,
Hmm.
by music. If anything, like I do this for living. I want to make changes. I want to make a difference in people's life, and I want them to have fun. And if I'm not having fun, how can they, right?
Right. Hey,
It
you
all
saying it.
starts from here.
It all starts from the heart, and you're
Yeah.
doing it. You're doing it. That's beautiful. So I'm really enjoying. I'm enjoying your story because it reminds me of myself a little bit, but I'm not going to get into that. Coming from the Caribbean island, and not having a drum teacher
Mm-hmm.
to get into college, really
Yeah,
doing a
right.
similar thing. Yeah, I just moved to New York because that's where I needed to be.
Yeah, the instinct speaks.
Yeah, it just I
Mm-hmm.
moved to New York. I had no job, no nothing, no gig. I had one gig. I had one
Wow.
gig, and the guy was like, "Move to New York, you get 2 gigs, you get 3 gigs," and that's what happened. So
Right. The
yeah,
first
but
move.
you
Yeah.
you you're what I like about you is that you didn't like stay in one thing. You've actually kind of built projects, build relationships with people, not only in New York
Mm-hmm.
but internationally. You spend a lot of time working. The Bridge Project, right? That's one of
Yes.
the first projects
Yeah.
you start building international relationships. Can you share some? Can you tell us more about the Bridge Project?
Yes. Yeah. So I wanted to, I always dreamed to tour around, like around the globe.
Hmm.
That's what I want. But I didn't want to just, go there with my peers and do my thing, come back. I wanted to integrate my experience with their experience, the local musicians' experience.
Hmm.
So I created a stage where the two bands are together, mingled, the local band and somebody from outside. Like for example, like I brought American musician, and we had a stage with Japanese band, but not
Hmm.
the two bands, but mixing
Right,
personnel.
right.
Yeah, and not jam session. We actually talk about it, we plan about it, and we discuss about how we want to do it.
Hmm.
So that was the first one, in Japan with American musician traveling, and also in New York, Japanese musician traveling to New York. So that experience, it really encouraged me that, like that means I can just tour with local musicians around the world.
Hmm.
So I actually did that. I started in Italy. Like I toured with Italian, beautiful Italian rhythm section. And I asked them like, okay, so are we gonna do standards? What? And they're like, no, we are ready to play your music. And that made me so happy. So we rehearsed for 2 days extensively. And we totally toured only with original music, mostly.
Okay.
Yeah, so that encouraged me, and I kept kind of like creating the location, like
Hmm.
Haiti, and most recently, like I was in South Africa.
Hmm.
I had an opportunity to tour in um, 4 cities with amazing African rhythm section. And same thing, like we don't play. I don't play exactly same way that the way I play in New York.
Hmm.
Like like because I wanted them to bring their own music as well. So
Hmm.
like I listen to like what can be integrated. So
Hmm.
it might be like a more African rhythm
Right.
in jazz harmony, but like I arrange like at the on the spot to create something that's special, that's didn't happen in New York, only happened in the location that I'm in.
Right.
So
And that's what this show is about, connecting the sounds of the diaspora, and that's what your bridge project is about. And when I first, like, again, when we played, I was like, okay, you totally understand the rhythms. I mean, I was blown away. I didn't really have much to say about the music. He just jumped into it and was dealing with it, which is rare because coming, when you ask a jazz musician to play music from a different country, it's a different format, and especially being a rhythm section player, rhythm is key because
right.
you have to connect with the bass player harmonically, but rhythmically, and the drummer. It's like playing funk. The bass drum have to lock up with the bass line, or else it's not going to groove, and
Totally.
that's a key element, which is something that you've really figured out a lot of that stuff. So
Because you guys are so great. I mean, it was easy. Really, it was easy for me. And also, I have to thank all the musicians I played, because people think like I'm inside Caribbean person. I am a Japanese Caribbean
these
pianist.
Caribbean.
Yeah, because I don't know how it happened, but I think it happened like maybe 10 years ago, maybe. I got to join a beautiful band from Haiti, Haitian artist. Her name is Emeline Michel. Beautiful artist, beautiful vocalist. So I got to actually travel a lot to Caribbean country,
Okay.
and through that I met so many other beautiful musicians. James Germain, Daniel, DBR. He's a beautiful violinist composer. So I got to meet many artists through the Caribbean experience, and through that I actually got invited to Martinique to join the piano festival, and I played with three other French Caribbean pianists, all female. So we had a duo project with each one in each combination. And locally, like I made friends with um, rhythm section, and I created a band, Martinique-based Yayoi Ikawa group, and we toured to Guadeloupe, and we played jazz festival in Guadeloupe. So yeah, bridge project right there too.
Yeah, it's all
Yeah.
connecting the sounds of the diaspora and bringing it to life. So
Yeah.
you're already doing it. That's it's a great thing. So kudos to you.
Yeah, and like Japan is also island.
Mhm.
Maybe it's bigger. So like through like traveling through Caribbean countries, I see
Mhm.
lots of similarities actually, culture-wise. Maybe
Mhm.
not so much music-wise, but culture-wise. So it's very it's easy enough to tap into their mentality, and I
Mhm.
think that helped a lot to actually like get to play to feel what it's like to be in their shoes,
Mhm.
culturally and musically. Like I feel their passion, I feel their struggle,
Mhm.
and I it's a joy to really like be in their shoes, and like bringing myself on the table and play together.
Mhm.
So yeah, the Caribbean islands has special place in my heart, really.
Great, great.
Yeah.
Well, you it's really good to hear that you cover a span of music, and even though you call yourself a jazz musician, it's clear that you're more than just a jazz musician. You're an artist that plays a number of different styles, genres of music, but you do it from an improvisational standpoint, which shows your jazz foundation and background, and also your classical stuff, also, because I heard
Hmm.
you working on that box, the intro to the box piece.
Yes, I was trying. I was trying to be prepared for
Yeah,
the back
yeah.
yeah piece in your repertoire in your band. Yeah. So
That's a
I
that's a
mean
that's a sneaky one, but you
that's
you nailed it. You it was in there.
Yeah, but the rhythm, unexpected. It was great. Yeah, it's
Great,
really
great.
good. Yeah.
Well, we could go on and on and on and on talking about your story, but I know our audience would like to hear you play as well. So we're gonna
Okay.
start playing some of your music and then you could tell us about it. So we're just gonna jump into the first song and then you could describe it
Sure.
afterwards because I know they want to hear you. So this is Songbird and Soul Dances. Songbird and Soul Dreams.
So dances actually.
Salt. Yes, you're right. So,
Yeah.
tell us about that.
This was actually a love song that I
Okay.
wrote for a person who I used to marry. So it doesn't have too much of deep meaning. It's just something that like the sparkle thing. But it's always fun to play this song. It's like jacked, but it still swings.
Mm,
And to this day, I still play this song. Yeah.
mm.
Um,
Nice, nice. I like the drum solo at the end with Tyshawn. Uh,
yes. Yeah.
saying, yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, so this Tyson Sorry on the drums, Jim
Mm,
Robertson on the bass, and yeah, we used to we were like students still, and maybe after we were student too, like we still actually played in bars and weekly gig and stuff like that, and so like just like the song developed itself like as we
right.
play as a unit, and we got to um, tour in Japan,
Mm,
and this group, this unit, not the same personnel, but this music, I toured in Costa Rica as well,
mm,
and so the tune developed while we play this melody. So I'm a composer, but like the way we played actually happened as the band developed, and I miss that. Yeah, these days like everybody is in different places, different stage in career, and it's actually hard to keep the band together,
yeah. Yeah.
like especially in New York. Yeah, so I still have like amazing group of musicians that I get to call when I have opportunity to present my music.
Mm,
But yeah, but nothing is like having a steady band that I
yeah.
can develop together, and that I respect you, that like it must be so much effort making to keep the band together.
Mm,
So yeah, so like that was a time that I actually had a band, and I miss that. Yeah.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
hope that's gonna happen again. Yeah.
Yeah. It's bands are important. I mean, as you're talking, I'm reflecting on my good friend and mentor John Faddis, and
Mm,
I've had the pleasure of playing with him over 30 years
wow.
with
Yeah.
basically the same band for about the past 15 years, and
Mm-hmm.
that says a lot because, like you said, the music can develop
Yeah.
over time. It takes on its own feel and course of things, and it makes a big difference that you can work with the
Mm-hmm.
same folks. Not only the band but personalities as well, and
Yeah.
that's something that's missing in the jazz scene also because. When I first came to town, when I first moved to New York in 1990, there were a number of bands, especially the elders. They had bands and they kept that personnel together, and it made a big difference in the music. It sounded rehearsed. When I
Mm-hmm.
say rehearsed, not predictable, it sounded
Mm-hmm.
it was comfortable to listen to
Yeah. Yeah.
versus
Comfortable. Yeah. That's a
yeah,
big thing that, like everybody can feel like, they can totally be themselves
right,
to express, it's a safe place to be,
right,
safe place to explore. I
right,
think that's one reason that music develops. Yeah.
right, right.
Yeah. And, like, every now and then, like I can tell that could happen, like when I meet a new person to play with. So like I try my best to like create more opportunity to do it together,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just nothing is like like when we are student and we have whole like summer vacation open,
Right, right,
and
right, right.
we can just like play like 8 hours a day all
Mm-hmm.
together. It was that time, and yeah, but you're right, like the elders have showed me like what the band is,
Mm-hmm.
like, and I think I was lucky to like my first band I got to join was Reggie Workman,
Mm-hmm.
um and along the way like it was Howard Johnson, and it was Michael Carvin, and they all showed me what the band is and what the color of the band, what
Right. The
um,
sound.
sound.
Yes.
Thank you. The sound of the band. That not just playing great, but
Right.
what's our way of playing. The concept.
It's
They all
important
showed me.
concept, and that's again, it's a lot of times when you go to hear a gig, especially the clubs that have different groups every night, it's like guys are still trying to figure out the music, and it never really settles into something. But there's definitely flows, and it sounded like you guys were unit.
Yeah, it shows difference. Yeah. But now, like, of course, like there is a good side that, like I'm on my own, like project-based band, which is great. Yeah, but because I have to have my own vision, like when I was playing this music, I was all like, like, oh, drum part, Passion's got it, like I don't have to write drum part. But now I have to really think about what drum I should be playing, even though I'm not drummer, but I have to like be able to explain what the whole picture of music.
Right. Good luck with that to a drummer.
Yeah, it's a challenge, but it's a good challenge as a musician that I'm not just piano player.
A lot of people can't write for drummers. That's the interest. You know how many gigs I go on and guys will just be like, here's the concert piano part, just follow that.
Right, yeah.
But, I'd rather have that than somebody actually try to write a drum part, because a lot of times it doesn't make sense. I'd rather just follow the lead sheet. Once you say the groove, Latin or swing or funk, just the groove and the lead sheet.
Yeah, it's actually trust. Yeah. Like, I'm sure, the band is trusting each other, like the minimal information is always it always works, actually.
It always works. It always works. Well, let's move on, because you have some great stuff here. So this is Universe Within, the Field Quintet. And I noticed you name a lot of your songs after bands also, right?
After bands?
After bands, like the Field Quintet, that's a band.
Yeah. It's a project. Yeah, it was a project during pandemic. Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's check this out. The Universe Within.
Thank you.
I really enjoyed it. Yeah, I just wanted to say hello. Dion
Hi.
is checking back in, so I'll bring Dion back on. That was just a wonderful piece. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, like that was a project I had in during pandemic, and like I had a wonderful musician that brings different taste on the bandstand. So I arranged differently, like for the occasion. So I play the song today too, but totally different way now.
Well, let's play another one of your songs. I'm enjoying this so much. We have one called Butterfly.
Yeah, that's a solo piano. Like I play as a trio too, but this one is solo piano version when I first composed it.
Why don't you tell people a little bit about the background to this, and we'll play it for everybody.
Yes, yeah. So this one, like I heard a story, very nice story that butterfly is spend whole their lives being caterpillars, and they get to be butterfly only like last few weeks of their lives. It's amazing, and they are free finally, and they have their own print that's only their own, like it's like fingerprint. So like I just wanted to, like it's kind of like if Dion, no, I'm sorry, not Dion. Dennis Williams, Black Butterfly. That's a classic R&B song. It talks about butterfly too, black butterfly. Like to be free from all the things behind the things like that happened. So it's kind of same way, like the butterfly. Like we all get to be the place where we can achieve what we wanted to achieve at the end. And also this song is dedicated for my mentor, beautiful pianist Jerry Allen.
I'm really looking forward to it. Dion, what?
So this is Butterfly, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Jerry Allen was one of your mentors.
Yeah, I mean, like I got to study with her like only one semester, but like she was so kind to, like pass on, her beautiful knowledge and just spirituality to me, and she let me sit in. I mean, like be at the trio recording of Marilo Williams recording she did. I was in that same room. That was an amazing experience.
Yeah,
And
I worked
I
with
know
her also. Yeah,
how
yeah,
beautiful
yeah.
she is. Yeah. And it's just like her piano playing as a musician, it's really influenced me. Like that, like she sounds always her, and that honesty and beauty and soulfulness, and she can fit in. She can fit in any situation. It's just amazing.
Yes, she is. She is. Well, this is Butterfly, is dedicated to Jerry Allen, right?
Yeah.
Great. Butterfly. Dedicated to Jerry Allen. Such a beautiful person. Interesting enough, my birthday is June 11th. Jerry Allen's birthday is June 12th.
Yeah.
Day after
Wow.
Gemini. So
Gemini, yeah, artistic mind. Yeah.
Yeah, and I used to teach her son Wally at the trumpet player at NJ Pack. He was attending there when I was teaching there also. So I enjoyed working with him, and she would come by and pick him up, and we'd talk and stuff.
Oh wow, yeah. Now he's a wonderful trumpet player. When I used to go to her house, Wally was this big. Yeah. And I remember having pancake with little Wally and his sister Bobby, and the adult people, Jerry and Jerry's friend, have pizza, and they have pancake, and I was like, so can I have pizza with you guys or pancake? And she's like, you're gonna have pancake with them. I was like, okay. Yeah, but
That's great. That's great. Such a beautiful person.
Yeah, she is. Yeah.
Well, let's jump into our next song. I want to squeeze that in before we run out of time. Hotaru Quintet.
Hotaru. Yes, yeah. So this Hotaru is actually Japanese children's song. So so this is like I'm pulling my Japanese-ness together. I mean, like I'm from Japan, and like more than ever, I think about I'm Japanese every day. Like I have to. I'm in US. In Japan, I don't have to think about I'm Japanese because everybody's Japanese. So, but I'm trying to like find a way, if it's not my way, to actually play Japanese music. How can I really like contribute to my own Japanese-ness? What's my honesty about being Japanese? Yeah. So this is one version of my answer. So hope you enjoy it. Yeah.
All right, let's check it out. Hutaru. Okay. I know the
Hutaru.
original didn't sound anything like that, right?
Yeah. The rhythm is my own, but it means firefly,
Mhm.
and yeah, children will sing that song during summertime around this time in the
Mhm.
mountain.
Nice. Well, thank you for sharing that with us.
Oh,
Yes,
thank
like
you.
some of my favorite musicians there, Jonathan Finlayson.
Jonathan Finlayson, Darius Jones,
Yeah.
Francois Mouton on the bass,
Hmm.
E.J. Strickland on drums. Yeah,
Yeah. Great group. Great group.
great group. Yes.
I just want to thank you for sharing your unique sound of the diaspora with us, because you have a couple of different things you can pull from, and you've put together a nice presentation for us tonight. So thank you for that, and thank you for being here. I know we can stay forever and talk about so many
Forever.
wonderful things you're doing.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you so much for having me. It's such an honor to actually have met you and get to play with you and here like we are talking and so it's been a great few weeks.
Yes, yes. Well, thanks
Mhm.
again. Thanks for joining us, and it's been a pleasure having you.
Thank you.
That's Yayoi Ikawa, our guest, bringing some great music to the presentation. It's such a pleasure to have her here. And please go and check her out. Okay, you can check her out on the website and follow on Facebook as well. Please join us again next week as we bring another great sound. And this time, our friend is joining us from Europe, in France, by the way of Africa. And this is the one and only Jean-Jacques Hilange, saxophonist that I've had the pleasure of working with many years ago in Paris on a special project. So we look forward to having you come back next week at Sounds of the Diaspora and join us as we bring Jean-Jacques Hilange to the Sounds of the Diaspora. So thanks for spending the time with us and hanging out with us this evening. Um, and we'll see you next week. Take care.
JBH Boutique Care offers you a unique exclusive membership in our nationwide concierge medical services network. Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Judine Bontemps-Hill. I'm double board certified in family and obesity medicine. We pair exclusive personalized care with accessibility and convenience. A better way for you to receive immediate quality medical care. Whether at our main Orlando, Florida office, traveling across the U.S. or visiting the States, we bring you the best medical care without waiting for an appointment. Become a member today by calling 407-234-5282 or visit us online at jbhmed1.com. JBH Boutique Care is proud to sponsor Sounds of the Diaspora, music and conversations with artists, and host Dion Parson every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on Source TV Radio Network, WTSN, Washington, D.C.